So I saw this tweet that said, I used to get so mad when Ben 10 didn't use the aliens I liked, and I've never seen a tweet more real because I still get mad when I rewatch. Benjamin Tennyson, regardless of the scenario, the situation, what kind of elements we were dealing with, rain, sleet, or snow, forearms or humongosaur were trained to go. Motherfucker could be literally drowning, and he's talking about some humongosaur. No! And it was even worse when you finally thought Ben was going to choose an alien you've been clamoring to see, and then the Omnitrix glitches.
Ripjaws to the rescue!
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no.
Welcome back to the Yappington channel, where I'm gonna yap about something and you cannot disagree with me because I know ball. And for today's video, we are going to talk about the Ben 10 classic aliens. Yes, the aliens from the first show. As you guys saw from the videos in the beginning, that tweet actually popped up in my timeline, and the replies were so hilarious because it's true. It's very true. That prompted me to do this video, and I wanted to share my opinions and my take on the first 10 aliens, because Ben 10 has a lot of like animated series and I cannot talk about every single one of them. And I was like, you know what? Let's start with something small. Let us start from the first one, the classic one. Without further ado, let's start. So, start off strong. Let's start with his very first alien, the first time he wore the Omnitrix and tried it on, which is Heat Blast. I'ma put Heat Blast in the deserving spot of A. I actually wanted to put him in GOAT, like he could be in here easily, but I was like, he's an alien that he can be easily exploited, right? His main weakness is actually accessible. That's the only reason why he is in A. As an alien, and like in terms of alien design, he is actually really sick. It's so cool. He reminded me of like Ghost Rider, right? From a design standpoint, he can easily be in here, especially like his other form, like when Ben is an adult. He looks so cool. But yeah, I'm not only gonna be ranking in terms of looks, I'm actually gonna rank them too in terms of like capabilities. And like I said, his weakness is really exploitable. It's really accessible to find, you know, a cooling agent, and for that, he's going to be an A. In terms of like powers and abilities, he's actually really cool. He's almost a complete alien apart from, again, that weakness. He can fly, he can use his flames as a traversal tool, right? He has average durability, but he shines in terms of like offensive power. The dude literally is just fire incarnate. He can burn everything, he can do fireballs, he can be a ranged character, he can also do like melee combat. He's a nearly complete alien. Therefore, I'm gonna put him in A. Next up, I'm not even gonna talk about Diamond Head. I'm gonna talk about him. One of the main reasons why this video exists, why that tweet exists. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the big guy himself, forearms. I'm gonna put this guy in B. No one can disagree with me. This guy is in B. Why? Could have been an A. Honestly, could have been an A. But I put him in B because he pissed me off. So, for those who don't know, this guy has been spammed throughout the whole Ben 10 freaking universe. This guy exists to be spammed. This is a basic alien. In my opinion, he is a cool alien. Don't get me wrong, his design is really sick. None of these aliens have like bad design at all. But in my opinion, he's the basic one in terms of design. Because he's just a big guy. Apart from his quote-unquote forearms, He's the brute. He's the most physically imposing character in this, apart from maybe Wildmutt or Ghost Freak, where those two can be like a situational pick. Whereas Forearms, he's reliable, he's easily spammable, and he's just an all-rounder. Like, he's the alien that is accessible nearly at any place at any time, apart from maybe if you're battling in space or there's an unstable terrain. You can't use him because he can't fly. He's just a big brute. That is why he's going to be in B. Has high offense, has high durability, has high power, and that's it. Very solid, reliable alien. Everything about him is basic, therefore he will remain at B. My personal favorite among the bunch, which is Diamond Head. So Diamond Head will be put in the GOAT status, and no one can disagree with me with this. Diamond Head, among all of this, is the most complete alien. He has everything you need in terms of technical and combat capabilities. He has the power set to compete among all of these aliens. If I have the chance to choose one alien among all of this, I would choose him. Right? Let's start with his combat capabilities. He has high offensive combat capabilities. He can be used in a ranged manner. He has range attacks. He can be used in a CQC or hand-to-hand combat. He has high durability. He's literally made out of like a diamond-like element. So that means his durability is really high. He probably has super strength too. High density because of, what he's made of. He can also be hacksy. He can literally summon like the quote-unquote diamonds from everywhere he touches, which is really, really useful in battle, right? You can surprise a lot of enemies, as Ben does in the show. He also has a quote-unquote transportation or traversal mechanic in terms of his powers. He can use diamond in order to reach heights when he uses it properly. And like I said, he's just a complete alien. Let's talk about his design. His design is really cool. I can be wrong with this, but he is one of the most consistent aliens that is in the first show that pops up in the future Ben 10 animated series, and not just as a cameo. He is actually a staple and Ben actually uses him, which is why Diamond Head will be in the GOAT tier, such an iconic alien. Next up on the list, let's talk about Ghost Freak. I'm actually excited to talk about Ghost Freak because in my opinion, Ghost Freak and Upgrade are the most interesting ones among all of this. But that being said, I'm gonna put Ghost Freak in C. Right? I'll actually put him in here because of what he does. So let's talk about it. But I'm gonna put him in C anyways. So let's start with his design. His design is actually the most interesting one in here. His design is scary. His presence in the show is actually terrifying. Whoever designed him deserves a raise. He's really cool, right? He's a really cool alien, quote unquote. But he technically isn't also the alien, because in the show he's one of the villains, right? He's an actual villain in the show. When Ben discovers that Ghost Freak was sentient and was actually trying to do some bad stuff, it actually changed the plot. It actually progresses the story, but not as an alien of Ben. He's actually there to ruin stuff for him. That is why I'm gonna put him in C. Every time he's going to pop up, you just know something bad is about to happen. Like even the smallest scene when he's talked about, there's some bad stuff that is portrayed in the show. Therefore, it's going to be in C. He's, among all of these aliens, he's an actual liability. Once you use him, there's an actual high percentage that something bad is going to happen. That actually sums up his existence in the first show. He's a strong alien. He has like insane hacksy abilities. He's such a hacksy character, but he's just a huge liability because he actually turns out to be a bad guy. He actually turns out to be a villain. Therefore, he's going to be in C, but his design is really sick. Next up on the list let's talk about our favorite speedster, XLR8. So I'm gonna put him in the same tier as Heat Blast. Another character that I could have put in GOAT tier, with my main gripe on XLR8 is he is like half and half. He's half situational and half reliable as an alien. Most of the time, when you need speed, he's the one you're gonna pick. But that, in my opinion, is what puts him in A, because he is such a specialized character. If you're talking about pure strength and durability, you're not gonna think of XLR8. Design-wise, he's actually really cool. That helmet, his feet like a pseudo rollerblades type. Such a sick character design, and that tail is also not actually useless. He actually uses it in combat. Like, his design is just cool. He's the speed incarnate of this alien lineup. I also forgot to talk about his weakness. He also has like this glaring weakness that, again, if there's like an uneven terrain, or you're like battling underwater or in space, or when there's like, you know, gravity is messed up, you cannot use XLR8. He cannot be used as an alien to fly, but he does have like some traversal hacks, like he can move upwards due to his speed. But apart from that, yeah, he can be a situational character. Now let's go to Upgrade. Upgrade, in my opinion, is another character that deserves the A spot. But in terms of design, could have been a GOAT. But yeah, he is the same as XLR8, but just in a different field. So Upgrade, right, is a situational slash reliable character. When there's machinery, when there's something you need to hack, when you need some firepower, Upgrade is a solid pick. You need something hacksy and can deal a lot of physical damage, Upgrade is probably your best bet. Any type of machinery problem, most of the time you would call Upgrade, but Gray Matter can be a solid pick in terms of that. Reliability wise, Upgrade is the one you call in those times. Speaking of Gray Matter, let's talk about the small guy. I'ma put him in C. Why he is C, in my opinion, is because he has more weaknesses than his strengths. Like, his weaknesses outshine his strengths. He is a very situational alien. Like, when you need to get into some small spaces, of course you're gonna call him. But then again, Upgrade can do that. You need some brains, he's a solid pick. You know, if there's like a brainy problem, you can definitely say that he is useful. But most of the time, what he does, Upgrade can do. That is why he will be C. Like, his weaknesses just outshine, you know, his strengths. He isn't fast, he doesn't have any super strength, he is not that durable, barely any offensive capabilities. He's just smart and just small. You know, in this show at least. In the future shows, he does something more, but in the first show, that's all he does. Therefore, he's going to be in C. Now, I actually want to talk about Wild Mutt. In my opinion, he's going to be another C. Wild Mutt is an unfortunate case because, you know, the design is really cool. Like, he is an alien that you use when you want something fast and physical. But, in my opinion, whatever he can do best, Forearms can do. And Wild Mutt is actually, he can be a liability. He's one of those aliens that is also easily exploitable in terms of weakness because he is blind. He is reliant on his senses, which a lot of enemies can easily exploit, especially when you're battling aliens all of the time. He is really exploitable. Like, there's this episode where Ben just had like a cold and it almost rendered Wild Mutt useless, right? Because he can't see, and the thing that he uses to see was blocked by the cold, and he is almost rendered incapable of doing what needs to be done. That's why it's such an unfortunate case, because he actually has like a sick design. But then again, everything he does, forearms can do. The only advantage this guy has over forearms is arguably he is a bit faster. But forearms isn't blind. He has less glaring weakness in comparison to Wild Mutt. And he has 4 arms. You know, he has like 6 limbs in comparison to Wild Mutt's 4. He's just an unfortunate case. Sick design, basic alien. C. Now let's talk about Stinkfly. I'ma put him in B. Design wise, he's just a fly, a disgusting fly. But he is actually useful. He is one of the 2 aliens in here that Ben uses that can actually fly. Maybe upgrade if he hacks like a plane-like stuff. But in terms of like, let's say I need to fly, boom, Stinkfly is the go-to. That is his only special use in here. Because Hit Blast can also fly, but it's not like a proper flying. He cannot maneuver properly in comparison to Stinkfly. But Stinkfly's offensive capabilities is also right? He doesn't actually do damage with his projectiles. It's more of like a support type of artillery. But yeah, he is the traversal transportation support artillery alien of Ben. Therefore, he actually has some use, and he is going to be placed in B. Last but not the least, the infamous one, the most unfortunate one. I hate to do this to my guy because I actually like his design. He is the anglerfish himself, Ripjaws. I feel so bad for the dude, but I have to put him in B. Literally the second liability of the aliens, the most situational one, and the most unfortunate case among them. I actually feel bad, dude. But yeah, I can't stop where this alien is good at. Okay, what is good at is the only reason why it's always also going to be picked, which is in underwater cases. If it's not underwater, you do not choose this alien. He has super strength, I guess. He is fast underwater, and he can bite through nearly anything. Apart from that, yeah, this character is ass, dude. Easily one of the most exploitable characters in here. Literally just put him in land, take him out of the water, next 10 minutes is dead. And I hate to say that because I like the dude. I actually searched up how many times this guy has been used in the first show. He almost got beaten by Ghost Freak. He's, I think, 1 use above Ghost Freak. That's freaking insane, man, considering that Ghost Freak doesn't even last long because he's a villain, and Ripjaw was like a mainstay in terms of like the original classic aliens. I felt so bad, dude. I hate to do this to my guy, but he is going to be in D. The only good thing about him is reliable underwater, and he has a sick design. Like, let's not even talk about when the Omnitrix glitches or bugs. Imagine how many times the Omnitrix bugs out and chose Ripjaw. The usage would be so much lower, man. I feel so bad. That is it for my alien tier list of the OG classic Ben 10. I hope you guys liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe, comment down your favorite alien, and I'll see you in the next time. Bye!